We're back, baby. It is the Daily Stripe. It is also the mightier ESPN 1090. Joshua Fisher, DJ Nikki Snacks Carter, Alex Tosman Octosopoulos is on his way to Honolulu to go
Hawaii.
surfing. To go surfing, enjoying some pina coladas on the beach. Speaking of enjoyment, Nick, one of the things that you and I have always shared enjoyment for is baseball. And this has been, I would say, as long as we've known each other, this has been the best first half of baseball I've seen. As far as vibe
Yeah.
around the league, excitement, players, people playing well, young stars, older guys playing well as well, comeback players. The whole vibe around the league has just been the most positive it's been, especially when you look at it a couple of years ago in 2020 when we railed against Rob Manfred and how honestly piss poor he handled the pandemic year.
I mean, are we surprised that it's in the year that they made all the rule changes?
No.
More offense, more digestible games. People are, more inclined to sit down and watch a full game. Also, the superstars are just showing out left and right. I mean, our faces of baseball have really been able to do some pretty amazing things. And Shohei Ohtani, Judge started off hot, of course, and injured, unfortunately. But all of our guys that are quote unquote the superstars are having amazing years. I mean, Acuna setting unprecedented record numbers. The young guys even showing out. Ellie De La Cruz, Wander Franco. So it's really exciting just to kind of see everything kind of come to fruition, and for it to be a really competitive season as well. If you're looking at the standings, I mean, your division is a gauntlet, of course. Every single team still above 500, even your Red Sox down there at last place, one game over 500. But that's what you want, right? Out of baseball. Maybe not as a Red Sox fan, but for the fan of Major League Baseball, you want to see teams that are competitive. And of course, you've got the bottom barrel where Kansas City and Oakland are sitting at 25 wins, but that's kind of to be expected. Surprising teams, of course, San Diego, St. Louis, New York, Mets. Like, I think some of those teams could maybe turn around, but they got to start right now. And thank God for the Padres. They took care of a sweep against the Angels this week. So maybe this is the tide that starts to turn. We'll see.
Nick, in your little opening monologue, you hit a lot of the points I wanted to discuss. Your Pods and the Mets. Pods as we record. Pods as we record right now won 3 in a row, I believe, and the New York Mets have won 4 in a row. Sorry, yep. Pods 4 in a row. Mets.
No, you got it right. I'm saying Mets 4.
Oh yeah, Mets 4 in a row. So these teams, 2 teams that we've been heavily critical on, as they should be, they've gotten hot as of late. Cardinals nowhere to be found. But like you're saying, a lot of these young players have been phenomenal. If you go to betonline.ag, you can bet on Rookie of the Year, get your welcome bonus. I think we could start there today. We could start some mid-season awards. We could work our way to the trade deadline rankings. And I got another game. People were so impressed with you with the John Gray game.
Oh, cool.
So I have another game for you coming up, my friend.
Before we get into all that, just mentioning the Mets and the Padres, the difference between these two teams is a half game. Padres have a half game on the Mets, but the difference between the two in the division, Padres are 9 games back from first place. The Mets are 18 games back from first place because they play in the same division as the Braves. That is tough.
Who I think we both believe to be the best team in baseball.
Maybe in baseball, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They were my World Series pick. Your pick, not to tease it, Garrett Cole was a very good Cy Young pick. I thought that was a good year to get it done. Let's start, because I think this is very interesting. You go to betonline.ag today, use the promo code BELIEVE, get 50% off your welcome bonus. Odds to win the NL Rookie of the Year. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Who do you think's in first place?
In first place, for NL or AL?
NL.
I don't think it's Ellie because he hasn't played long enough. Is there a pitcher?
No, I got your mind working a little too early in the morning. It's Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll, yes.
Oops. No, they got you. No shake there. Corbin's minus 450. The obvious pick right now. all-star in his rookie season. He's everything that's been promised. People are calling him Mookie Betts 2.0, and as someone who watched Mookie close up in person, as a Sox fan, I could concur that that is a very, very apt comparison. But here's where I find things interesting. While he's minus 450 and looks to be running away with the thing, Ellie De La Cruz, who you just mentioned, is plus 400 in second place. The next four players, so it's Corbin Carroll at 1, Ellie De La Cruz at 2, Matt McLean at 3, Spencer Steer at 4, and Andrew Abbott at 5. So 4 of the top 5 guys in odds to win NL Rookie of the Year are on the first place Cincinnati Reds.
Wow.
Kind of crazy, right?
Young team.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's a lot of other guys that are Yuri Perez, a guy I really like, who could end up being the best pitcher on the Marlins. They're really hot. Bobby Miller is a nice young pitcher for the Dodgers. They just seem to find everybody everywhere. And then Senga has been a nice pickup for the Mets. Francisco
Great
Alvarez.
game yesterday.
Great game yesterday. You know what? The Mets 2 young rookies, Senga, or not young rookies, but the Mets 2 rookies. Senga, 8 innings, 12 Ks. He was phenomenal. And then Francisco Alvarez, the rookie catcher, the game-winning hit, the game-tying hit. So really good out of them. And then you have a lot of other guys like Patrick Bailey, who's actually, you know, looks to be the successor at catcher for the Giants, and Jordan Walker, who plays very poor defense in the outfield but is a hitting machine. That's the NL. AL is interesting. I thought Yennier Cano would be atop the list, but he's not. A different name.
Adderley Rutschman?
No, Adley's not rookie. He doesn't qualify as a rookie this year. Gunnar Henderson is 3rd for the Orioles. Hunter Brown's up there at 4. SD Ruiz is the guy you picked to lead the league in steals. He's 5th. Number 2 is my guy, Macho Man. Yoshida's at number 2, and Toss's guy, Josh Young, is number 1. So
didn't realize he was a rookie.
Yeah, crazy, right? A phenomenal season out of this guy. You have him and Corbin Carroll, both all-stars, having phenomenal years as rookies, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. Texas is starting 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, and then they added Adolis, and then they added Eovaldi. They have 6 all-stars this year, which is, you know, and one of them is not named DeGrom.
That's ridiculous.
It's almost as ridiculous as Atlanta having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all-stars. Sorry, 7, 8 all-stars as well. And if you look at players that formerly played for the Braves, you could throw Freddie Freeman in there and Dansby Swanson.
Whatever.
Very, very impressed out of these 2 teams. But yeah, Corbin Carroll, Josh Young really running away with it. I would say the MVP races are both being pretty much run away with as well in the AL and the NL with Acuna and Ohtani, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Ohtani, I don't know what anyone could even do to be able to catch him.
It's over.
It's already over. Like,
yeah.
I think he could stop playing today, and the rest of the league would continue to have to play, and he'd still win it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Talk to me about NL Cy Young. Where's your mind at right there? I can throw some stats for you if you'd like.
Yeah, I think Gallen was my pick to start the season, and I still think he's got a shot.
Mm-hmm. He's fully in the thick of things.
Yeah. I mean, I really like this Bryce Elder guy from Texas.
Hook 'em, baby.
Hook 'em horns for the Braves. I mean, Kershaw is putting together another good year. Stroman has been, pretty awesome for the Cubs. Well, he'll probably be in a new uniform by the deadline. It's tough. I mean, it's pretty wide open in my opinion.
I think both races are wide open. I kind of like right now, to me, Cole, Eovaldi, Valdez, and Sonny Gray and McClanahan, who just got hurt though, they're dueling in the AL. I think the NL, like you're saying, is a bit more wide open because your guy, all of a sudden, Blake Snell, is getting hot over here at the right time.
And he wants to get a payday.
He does want to get a payday. But then you have other guys I feel getting hot as well. Gosman could go off at any point in the AL and right the ship. You have Justin Steele in Chicago. A lot of people are waiting for the shoe to fall on him. But, if he can keep it up, he's going to be fully in the mix as well. So I think I would say the Cy Young, as spread out as the Rookie of the Year races have been, especially in the NL, and as over almost as the NL MVP and the AL MVP are, with Acuna winning the NL MVP and Ohtani winning the AL MVP, both those guys putting up absurd numbers. Had this been their numbers at the halfway point, we'd all be blown away. But here we stand. Acuna putting together one of the more ridiculous seasons I've ever seen him, especially after, like having some injury issues. Right now, his slash line, I mean, the RBI numbers aren't there for like a full season award, but in 86 games, he's got 21 home runs, 41 stolen bases. He's batting .337 with an OBP of .414.
It's ridiculous, man.
And he's got 78 runs already. He's almost scoring a run a game. Just their whole offense absolutely rakes, and their pitching, Fried's not even fully healthy yet, which is the scary part.
Yeah. I mean, that's the luxury of being on that team is like there's no pressure to rush yourself back, right? I mean, there's some teams where if you're the superstar or you're the top starter, or you're a big contributor on your team, you feel like if you're injured or you're coming back, you got to rush back to get to the spot that you used to play at. And in this lineup, everyone's playing well in this rotation. Everyone's pitching well. So there's not all that pressure on you to really get back to full force. And it's a mindset, I think, that is a luxury to have in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you go to Atlanta, you have no Fried pitching right now, no Kyle Wright pitching, and all of a sudden, you have Elder coming out of nowhere, one of our Longhorns, Strider, who, is striking guys out. It is his job, but he had a couple of rough starts, but he's fully back now. And then you have Charlie Morton, who's the ageless wonder, sorry, and he's punching dudes out, and he's got a good record and a solid ERA. So all these guys, Charlie Morton, honestly, shout out to him. He might get to 2,000 strikeouts, which is pretty damn impressive in his career. But he's been great for the Braves. And then if you go to their lineup, like obviously, like we said, all those guys are all-stars. So you're right, there is less pressure. Yeah. And the way you're talking, it brings up the Angels and Mike Trout. And I guess we could kind of delve into the deadline things. But Mike Trout is a guy we said that could potentially be traded at the deadline. Won't be not anymore because he's injured. But the Angels were playing good baseball. They were competitive, and had they had Trout fully healthy and Ohtani fully healthy, like they'd be fully in the mix to compete at least and try to make some moves at the deadline. Now they might have to be sellers, and that's again like no choice. The pressure is on Mike Trout to get back because they don't have the rest of the lineup. They don't have a Sean Murphy, Matt Olson, Ozzy Albies, Arcia, like these guys, Michael Harris, who are raking, and playing like top tier. Austin Riley playing top tier baseball. Like Mike Trout is one of the hearts and souls of that Angels team, and without him, they're kind of in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I think the timeline is kind of slipping away from them. I mean, they really had just this season to kind of capitalize on the two greatest players in baseball, and it might get squandered.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. But a lot of people were hypothesizing that Ohtani would get moved at the deadline and maybe even Trout with him, and it's looking more and more likely that Ohtani does get moved because if they miss the playoffs, Ohtani's still on the roster, and then he leaves in free agency, they get nothing, squat. Mm-hmm. If they move him, get some prospects back, help rebuild your organization a little bit. I mean, I don't even know what he would command. It's a different type of player, right? Like normally a rental, you get like a prospect, couple prospects, nothing crazy. Maybe one top guy. Mm-hmm. But this is Ohtani. This is a guy who can play two positions that is literally two players that you're trading for. So curious to see what the packages look like, to be completely honest.
If you're the Braves, and this is a team I threw at you yesterday, we could again start going into the deadline things. If you're the Braves, do you center your package around Michael Harris, reigning rookie? You wouldn't trade Michael Harris for Ohtani.
Well, I mean, in the Braves situation, like we were just talking about, where there's no pressure because there's so many guys that are doing well, it's because they're deep, right? Adding Ohtani, sure, to any team is awesome, but we were just saying at the top of the show that they could be the best team in all of baseball. And if they add him, sure, undoubtedly they are the best team in baseball. However, you have Michael Harris already on a cheap deal for the future.
Yeah.
Like you got to look at the value of what you're giving up. It's not just the player, but the contract of the player as well that you're giving up at a young player. And I think that Michael Harris sure is a good player to center around, but not in the Braves situation. If it were another team, sure. If this was like, I don't know, the Yankees, the Dodgers, a team that's like not there all the way there, but they're close, then sure. But I think the Braves are there. I think they could just hold. I really don't think they need to do much. Maybe a couple of bullpen additions here and there, some reinforcements. I think that's always nice. But other than that, I mean, what more can you ask for?
No, I think, not a sexy name. Obviously, we want to talk about the heavy hitters, but you could go to Detroit and you could look at a Mike Lorenzen type pitcher who's going to be he's going to be a free agent, and you could use him as a back end starter. You could use him in a long relief, and I think that'd be a really good addition for the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just hypothesizing. I think I'm just looking for the best fit because he could be a free, and you want to be in a position where you're going to negotiate with him.
Sure, of course, but I don't know if they. I mean, they do have a lot of money open because they have such nice contracts. But yeah, I don't know. I think I really buy the reports that Ohtani wants to stay on the West Coast.
Okay.
And if it's the East Coast, I don't think it's Atlanta. I think that it would be somewhere like New York or Boston. But I really buy him wanting to be on the West Coast. When he came from Japan, it was between the Padres, I think the Mariners, the Angels, and then top two are Padres and Angels, and then he decided Angels because there's no DH in the NL. So
I can't believe that Ichiro couldn't get it
done.
Couldn't get it done.
I don't know.
But they won't, and he'll have to sign there because there's no way on God's green earth that they're going to trade him within the division. They might not even trade him.
No way.
I'm like, do the Orioles and the Rays to get over that hump for this one time only? Like, if you're the Rays and you've come so close so many times,
it's not really their model though. I feel like
I know, but this dude, I know that it's not their model, but hear me out on the Rays situation. The Rays model has gotten them to the World Series, but has not won them a World Series. They haven't won yet. They still haven't got it done.
I know. This might be the best chance they've had in a long time, though.
And I think the Rangers are dangerous.
Sure.
I think the Astros are dangerous. I think the Blue Jays, and I'm not even saying this because this was my World Series pick for the AL. The Blue Jays are shut up. Rufino's joining for those going YouTube Live, Rufino's joining our chat. Blake, I have a lot of hats, and yeah, I like the young baseball players showing out and playing out. I think the Reds are exciting. The Blue Jays, though, imagine if Manoah comes back and starts pitching well.
I don't know.
I know. It's a major
getting lit up.
No, he pitched well last game that he played. And they just called him back, so we'll see. But the Blue Jays, they're also in a position where they can make a move too. To me, there's a lot of it, and then we'll tailor this into our break here. But there's just going through it. Obviously, we listed the names on our Best to Believe show. We listed Scherzer, Cease, Giolito, Lance Lynn, but Stroman's available. Erod on the Tigers. The Tigers are in a position where they can, if Erod comes back like he did and he starts pitching well again over the next couple of weeks, they're in a position where they could try to sell on him.
This is going to be a seller's market. I'll tell you that right now. I think that when it comes down to it, the deadline, a lot of teams are going to be overpaying because there's so many competitive teams in baseball right now that it's going to be an arms race. So we're going to see a lot of guys fly off the boards and get big packages that maybe they wouldn't gotten in years past. So just be careful. You know, if you're a fan of a team or if you're a team out there, like you might be overpaying for some of these players that are having nice years, um, maybe uncharacteristic years sometimes too. That's
Mhm.
another thing I think that happens a lot is you go after a guy who's having a good year that doesn't necessarily always put up these type of numbers, and when you get them, it's nice, and then comes back to reality and it bites you in the ass.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that one of my questions to you is like, if you're the Cardinals and you know Montgomery's going to be a free agent, like him, Flaherty, like I don't know what value Flaherty has, honestly.
I
But
think even Devin Williams, like I think all these guys should be available. I mean, I don't know if they can find a trade partner for Arenado and Goldschmidt. I don't think they should, honestly,
okay,
just because it's like you got so much money tied up into them and they're locked up for a long time. If you want to build a core around them, you can. It's still the time. I mean, you can go address stuff in free agency, but get as much as you can. Get some packages for your pitching that's been abysmal. You know, all these guys that are on the Cardinals that are normally guys who are good that are having uncharacteristic years in the reverse, I think you can sell on them as well. I was talking to our boy Parker yesterday as a Padres fan. I'd be enticed to go after Flaherty just to give him a shot. You know, maybe a package around him and Jordan Hicks.
Hicks is an unrestricted free agent as well, and he's
Yeah,
been pitching.
I said
Really
Devin
solid.
Williams earlier. I meant Hicks.
Yeah,
I
but
get them confused all the
yeah.
time.
I mean, Hicks throws absolute gas. I don't know if Dev Will is going to go anywhere. I mean, he said he's pitching. He's got some seriously nasty stuff,
No,
but
he
and
won't.
they're in the thick of things. But like if you're the Cubs, you have Stroman, he's probably going to opt out if he's pitching as well. You have Bellinger in a 1-year deal, so if he's fully healthy, like you could move him and capitalize on some of these shorter term contracts. I think. I brought up Jordan Montgomery on the Cardinals, who's been pitching pretty excellent. He's been their best pitcher by far. You could look to the Blue Jays and try to capitalize the deal there. As they get in the hunt. And I think there's teams like the Diamond. Like here's who I think really needs pitching. I think the Orioles need it. I think they've had some. I think Wells has been nice. They've had some nice starters. I think they have to go though to sometimes a good offense is a good defense and get one of these guys so one of these other teams don't. If the Angels are going to compete and not trade Ohtani, they have to go get one of these starters ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rocking a Reds hat. The Reds are last in their division. And runs a lot. I know Abbott's been great.
I mean, they're like pretty close to the top of the NL in runs allowed. Most
They're
runs
pit.
given up.
Yeah, like Ashcraft and Ladola were supposed to be good. Hunter Green's hurt. And obviously they have Alexi Diaz, who's
Yeah,
really.
they're second to last in the NL when it comes to runs allowed, and second to the Colorado Rockies, which is not saying much.
No, I mean because their pitching is always, like as you said before, abysmal. I do think that a team like the Reds, who have guys, obviously you can't break up any of the core they have now.
Yeah, I think they're holders. I think that they're in a place right now where their team is so young that it's not even a situation of like, hey, let's go out and try to win a championship this year. It's more of a thing that's like, let's just get these guys experience this year, right? Let's see what happens. I mean, this is a team that was not supposed to be this good this season, and they're showing out by all accounts, and they cannot move away from any of the core pieces they have, because you imagine how they're playing this year. Imagine how they play next year with another year of seasoning under their belt and maybe even some free agency acquisitions. I think they're holders unless you want to move a couple pieces from the farm, not like huge pieces, but pieces that will net you, maybe not, I wouldn't say like a rental starter, but maybe like a starter with a year of control.
Why not go after Dylan Cease if he's
Sure.
available? If you're the
Yeah.
Reds,
That's like a good guy to go after. Maybe Giolito.
yeah, he's gonna be a free agent. But
Is
why?
he?
Yeah, Dylan Cease to me is like, you don't have to give up you don't have to give up any of your top guys. You don't have to give up any of your MLB ready guys. But if you're the Reds, like if you're gonna make the playoffs, dude.
Yeah.
Like go compete. Like I don't know. Like if you're gonna get there, and to me, outside of the Braves, like the other two teams I have listed are the D-backs and the Dodgers. Like they're in the NL West. They've given up a lot of runs as well. They're over 400 runs allowed in the NL West as well. So yeah, Gallen's been good. Yeah, Kershaw's been good. But like we said the other day, like Dustin May is now out for the year. And to me, I think the Dodgers need to go in there if they really want to compete with the Braves. They have to go get some arms. And if Julio Urias has not been super reliable, Syndergaard abysmal, Bobby Miller, hot and cold, we'll see. They need to get some veteran pitching in there. And I think that going after Giolito, bringing him back home to Los Angeles could be worth their while, especially beating a team like Arizona to the punch.
You think Pittsburgh would sell on Mitch Keller?
Oh my God, dude. That was the guy I was going to list next. I just pulled up his stats.
Yeah.
I think I was going to ask you that. I think you and I both agree they should sell in Bednar.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, value's never been higher on that guy.
No, and closers are a luxury. They're for a competitive team. If you are not competing, and you have an elite closer, you sell as high as you possibly can on that, man.
Without a doubt.
And Bednar's got a 1.36 ERA. The dude's
an all-star. Should have been an all-star from the get-go, and just added.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Mitch Keller, to me, though, I personally, he's still arbitration eligible. He's an all-star. I don't know if he's the kind of guy that maintains this. I don't know how much higher his value continues to grow. He's getting in that sweet spot of age of 28 to 32 that we like.
Yep.
I would probably sell on Mitch Keller if I can and get a really nice package for him.
Yeah. Seller's market. I'm telling you, you can get a great package this year. Because you're too many teams in the mix.
You're the Pittsburgh Pirates and you have the first pick. They might pass in the LSU guys, is a rumor I heard, which would be kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
People like going after high schoolers. I don't know.
Jesus. Kind of Doogie has for me. All right. I'm going to give you my MLB Power Rankings that I wrote out right here, and you let me know whether you agree or disagree.
Sounds good.
Okay. Number 1, I have the Braves.
Agree.
Number 2, I have the Rays.
Agree.
Number 3, I have the Rangers.
I agree. They've taken a slight step back, but I agree. I don't know if there's a team that is really that close.
Number 4, I have the Astros.
Oh. Yeah, they're playing well lately. I'd agree.
This is kind of a spicy one and a team you thought would be very good or better than many people perceived. A true dark horse. Number 5, I have the Marlins.
Oh. I disagree.
Okay.
I would put them back a little bit.
Okay. Top 10 worthy, though?
Sure. Yeah. Of course.
6, I have the D-backs.
Disagree as well.
You think there should be lower?
Just like a couple spots lower. I think Baltimore should be ahead of these two teams.
Okay. I have Baltimore at 9. Interesting. I have the Reds at 7 following the D-backs.
I put the D-backs ahead of the Reds.
Yeah, I have that.
Just for pitching though.
Okay. Then slightly behind the Reds, I have the Dodgers at 8.
Okay.
The Orioles at 9, but you want them moved up. Understandable. All the rest, this part is very fluid for me. And then 10, I have the Phillies. I think the Phillies are right where they are last year. They're going to get hot again. Kimbrel's been pitching well. Nola had a really good outing the other day. Wheeler has been solid. Like, they can really get cooking.
Yeah.
And then my honorable mentions were the Yankees and the Jays.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair list for the most part. It's fluid, but, I don't really see any glaring concerns there.
Any teams that I missed?
Kind of looking through these standings right now. I don't know if you missed any. I mean, Giants have been okay. They haven't played great as of late, but they're on a nice heater of a streak.
They were hot.
Kind of came back to reality a little bit. I mean, look, I know we poo-poo them because they're in a really easy division, but the Twins have been having a pretty okay season. I mean, pitching-wise, one of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball,
Joe Ryan,
but
Sonny Gray, man, they've been
just
dominant.
no offense. That entire division has no offense.
Carlos Correa, I think, is leading the Twins in batting average, and he's batting 226. Oh,
Oh,
sorry, Donovan Solano is leading, but he's got 100 less at bats, and he's batting 277.
that's terrible.
Terrible. Byron Buxton's played 70 games though. Can you believe that?
Good for him. Happy for him.
Yeah, honestly, that's it. But he's batting 210, but he's played 70 games.
Pretty
Yeah,
wild that him and Correa went number 1 and 2 overall in their draft.
Oh,
No, on the same team now.
that is pretty wild. They're another team to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, this division's still open. You got the Guardians that are right there, and I mean Detroit technically is only 6.5 games back. I don't think they're going to catch them, but regardless, I don't know that anyone needs to be a buyer here, just because it's like when you get to the playoffs, it's probably an early exit, but something to be interested in.
I forgot Pablo Lopez has been striking dudes out. I mean, obviously they lose Neareye on the Rise trade, but Pablo Lopez at least has been solid. So you have your 1, 2, 3. Do you die on the pitching hill then if you're them? Like, okay, like we're just gonna try to out pitch everybody.
Hey, usually pitching is the one that prevails in the postseason, so if that's the case, right? You outpitch the. I mean, if you have a 5-game series, just throw out your best 3 guys and see what you can do.
Yeah, to me, if I'm the Twins, I'm probably making the call to Pittsburgh
For Mitch Keller,
and Bednar.
like you need a little bit more offense.
I know
I think there are
their
more things that you want.
their offense is so bad, but if I'm the
I
Twins,
think you look at like Candelario
yeah, Canario, he'd be a great pickup
from Washington, right?
Yeah. He's a free agent too, so he's a rental.
Yep.
And he's had a really good year. Yeah, I mean do you think we trade Turner?
Justin Turner,
He's been so good.
he's on a 2-year deal, right?
Yeah, but it's an option.
I mean, yeah, why not, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he goes to a team that's hungry for a bat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I do. Who are your biggest All-Star surprises?
Surprises.
Obviously,
Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be an All-Star, unfortunately. I think it's just kind of like a star power thing, you know. And of course, they're in Seattle, so like they want to give him the nod. I mean, every team has to have a representative, so it's kind of like doesn't really surprise me, you know, that like Michael Lorenzen's an All-Star because like that's Detroit's representative, and same thing with like Brent Rooker for Oakland. I'm looking at this roster right now.
Like I know J-Rod is in because he's star power. I mean, he's got 20 stolen bases and 13 home runs. He has a good WAR. He does have a good WAR. I mean, selfishly, and this is just me being a Red Sox fan, I would have liked to see our representative be Verdugo. Like I like Kenley a lot. He's been good for us. But I think Masataka as a rookie, if we're putting rookies in with Young and Carroll, like I think Masataka could have been in there, you know, or Verdugo.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pretty awesome season that Leordis Gurriel's having. I mean, his average isn't that high, but I mean him being an All-Star is like pretty average.
Yeah, I mean that trade again, like they kind of Gabriel Moreno and him was a really good deal. But I think that he was high in the vote, and I think he was really hot, and I think that he's been really cold as of late. And a player I would have loved to see get in ahead of him would have been Lane Thomas from Washington
Or Tatis.
Yeah, dude, Tatis has got a WAR that's almost 4.
Still getting punished.
Yeah, for sure. He's completely getting punished.
When it comes to like the player vote and the league now, where it's no longer the fan vote, he's still getting punished. That's really what it is. Because his stats show that he should be an All-Star. He missed 20 games and he's still putting up better stats than most of the league.
Yeah, I completely agree. He's third in WAR in outfielders, and he's right up there with just non-outfielders and position players in general. I think he's fifth with your boy Kim at four, Acuna, Wander, and then Luis Robert. What a season out of him! We were talking about they can't trade him.
I mean, if they did, the package would be huge.
I mean, that'd be if I was running the Chicago White Sox franchise,
You do
I
it.
would. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
What are
Rob
you
someone blind.
rob somebody blind, dude? Go get like go to whoever you think has the best prospects in all of baseball, and just rob them blind. Catch Texas hungry and get everything they're worth.
Is that a
Ev-
lot though?
catch the D-backs hungry.
Yeah.
Get Drew Jones and Jordan Lawler.
That'd be nice.
That's a haul. You get two top 15 prospects for Luis Robert. I think that's a fair asking point for them.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do think that I know it's not a sexy name to throw out, but I think Lane Thomas should have been an all-star.
He's having a great season. I mean, I think he's top 10 in hits this season.
Yeah, and he's batting above 300. So to me, he would, and Ketel Marte, honestly, good to see him back in the fold. He's had a real, and Candelario, who you brought up before, like those three players have had a real nice season. So I think a shout out to them is well deserving for how they've played. All right, Nick, I'm pulling it up. You did really well. You get 10 questions. Guess this player.
Baseball still?
Baseball still, yeah. We're in the throes of baseball, dude.
Okay.
It's baseball season. I don't. I think in the past it's been like, oh, it's baseball. No, yeah, it's for some people. For us, maybe it's been like, oh, it's baseball season. But I think this is super exciting. Like baseball, really, as good as it's been, heads into July and early August before people get football fever, where they're center stage. And I think there's no better time for them to be center stage with how good the season's been thus far.
Yeah, I feel you.
Cool. All right. You get 10 questions, dude. I have the player.
Okay.
Ready when you are.
Yeah. Is this player in the NL?
No.
Okay. Is this player a position player?
Yes.
Is this player an all-star?
No. That would have been too easy, in my opinion.
Yep. Eliminates a lot of guys. Is this player in the AL Central?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Is there red in this player's uniform?
Careful, you only have this is your fifth question. Yes, there is.
Okay, so it's two teams in the AL Central. Just knocked out three teams.
You did.
If I said blue, that would have been four teams that
would
have had that. So
yeah.
Okay. Is this player has this player been on multiple teams?
Yes.
What are we at? 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You have 4 questions left, dude.
Okay. Is this player on the Guardians?
Yes.
Okay. Is this
3 questions left.
Is this player a lefty?
Define.
Does this player throw man, that's
Does he throw lefty?
Okay, how about this? Does this player bat righty?
No.
Let's put it on the infield.
Yes.
I have one question left.
Careful, you have one question left, my friend. A lot of infield spots.
Does not bat righty, you said. Okay.
Doesn't bat righty.
There's two guys in our infield that don't bat righty. Both of them played for different teams. Was one of these players on the Padres before?
No. That was your last question.
Is it Andres Jimenez?
Correct. That's who it is. Get it with the last question again, Nick.
Dramatic effect.
He was an all-star in the past. Andres Jimenez bats lefty, but
throws righty.
That he does. You know, a very interesting stat about Andres Jimenez. Last year, he led the league in hit by pitches.
Oh, the old David Eckstein stat.
And this year he leads it again.
Is it just the stance, or does he just have a bad reaction time? What do you think?
I don't. Or
do you think people don't like him?
Or he's taking some for the team, dude.
People don't like him, maybe.
People don't like him, but he likes everyone.
Yeah, he's having a down year.
But his glove's been amazing. I think he'll pick it up. Actually, I actually weirdly think that this team picks it up.
Yeah, look, they've got a young, talented roster. I mean, with Jimenez and Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor. Yeah, I like Stephen Kwan. I think he's a nice piece.
Super fun.
I mean, Josh Bell not having a great year, but he can always pick it up. I mean, they've got decent pitching. Like they could be good.
Yeah, I would love to see Bieber. Tanner Bibby's been nice. Logan Allen. I would love to see Bieber kind of like kick it into high gear a little bit, personally.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Cy Young winner. Like, he for sure should be able to do something. Yeah. Do you want to guess how many former Padres or people that have been in the Padres organization are on the Guardians?
Sure.
On the active roster. On the active roster right now.
Okay. Can I 7?
All right, so we got Clase, we got Aniel De Los Santos.
Jesus, all right.
We got Cal Quantrill.
Logan Allen.
We got Cam Gallagher. We've got Josh Naylor. Josh Bell. That's 6. That's just on the active.
Was Logan Allen?
He's no longer with them. I think there's 6 right now. That's on their active roster.
Crazy.
But if we take it to their 40-man roster, let's see. Trying to see if there's anyone on here that was formerly with the Padres. No. No, I don't think so. So 6.
Yeah. Are we thinking of a
different Logan Allen, by the way?
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So 6. I knew there was a Logan Allen with them at some point, right?
Yep.
Wow. Who would have thought two different Logan Allens? All right. Give me, before we wrap up, at your halfway point, your World Series prediction and one really hot take. Unfortunately, I think it has to change from your original.
I'll go Braves. Doing it again. Beating the Rangers. Texas Rangers.
That's an exciting series.
That would be a lot of fun to watch.
That'd be a lot of fun to watch. I'm gonna go Braves. Sticking with the Braves.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it with you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm knocking you out right now, you know?
That's too fun.
What's your hot take? You go first. My hot take.
My hot take of the season. I don't know how hot of a take it is, This is a scorching take. We see two players hit above 55 home runs and go for 60.
I think it's gonna be really, really tough. I'd say one player maybe.
When was the last time that happened?
I mean, probably like the 1940s.
Oh, what?
1950s.
Dude, Sosa and McGuire.
Oh, true.
They both did it in 98. They both
Forgot
did
that.
it in 99. 2000 it happened. I'm trying to see how any other. Okay.
So who would you guys be? Ohtani and Olsen?
Yeah.
I think it's more likely that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 guys hitting over 45.
Okay. That'd be crazy. That'd be pretty wild. Nick.
Yep.
So 99, McGuire and Sosa did it. 2001, Sosa and Bonds did it. 98, Sosa, McGuire, and Griffey Jr. did it.
Sweet.
2001, there was a third player who hit above 55 home runs. I would be unbelievably impressed if you got this.
Was he in the NL?
Yes.
Who we do another 20 questions. Did he play for the Rockies?
No. Really good guesses though.
Is this player even is he well known?
You'll know when I say him for sure,
1,000%.
Great career.
Great career.
I mean, he hit 57 home runs in a year.
Yeah. What team did he play for?
Diamondbacks.
Luis Gonzalez?
Correct.
Wow.
Pretty
That's
nuts,
wild.
right?
Yeah, it's wild.
Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah. All right, Nick. Good to see you, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you, bro.
Hook 'em horns. Fans out there, hit your free throws because they're free. We'll see you guys next time.